This house checks every single box. Big land, solid price, pool, great location, but yet it's not selling. What is the reason this home is not selling? In today's video, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you why this home specifically is not selling and why this is happening to many people across the country right now who cannot get their home sold. So let's get into it. On paper, this house looks fantastic. Over 4,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, and almost 4 acres of land. Sounds like the perfect ideal situation. The house is even priced at $500,000. So really, in looking at this house, you're thinking, what is there not to love? But real estate isn't necessarily about the boxes that you're checking. It's about the boxes that you don't even know that are there. In today's video, I'm going to give you the 5 reasons that this fantastic home is not selling. Problem number 1, the staging is working against the house. So now when we're first looking at this house and you walk in and you see what I see, right? You're seeing all these crosses. Now, I've always talked about this, is that homes that have a lot of religious symbols or even a few religious symbols really is not great to be showcasing in a house. And I say that with love and kindness, but the reality is that once you start putting religious ornamentation up on your house, it does give buyers a feeling, because maybe in this case, if they are not Christian, they may feel a little uncomfortable seeing this house. So that is going to rule out your buyer pool a little bit. So I want to make sure that you're thinking about making your buyer pool as big as possible. And having these crosses in the house is just not something that's bringing every single buyer in. So the staging in this house really is not working very well. You can see there's some great features in this house. That floor, I love that floor. It's beautiful. But what if you start making a few changes? What if you start painting the rooms? What if you start replacing some of the furniture? You're going to see how different this house can actually look. So when a buyer is looking at a home for the first time, they are moving very, very quick. And you really only have about 10 seconds before the buyers move on. And when those pictures are not sharp, not crisp, not neutral, the buyers may move past the house, even though it may be a great house. So your first thing you need to be looking at is the staging in your house and the quality of the photos. Now, the yellow like that is not a great color to have in the house necessarily. Yellows are kind of out. So that is probably the biggest thing that I think you need to be doing, is to be making sure that your paint is neutral, and the yellow just screams dated for sure. I've got all these colors in my seller's playbook that you can download. I'll keep this up on screen. You can either use the QR code, go to sellerplaybook.com, or go into the link in the description. And it's going to give you all the things you need to do to get your home ready for sale. And it's going to tell you the exact colors that I recommend if you're selling. Now, if you're not selling and you're thinking, what do I want my house to look like over the next few years? Paint it the color that you want. But if you're thinking about selling, you need to really be thinking about the presentation and the staging and the decluttering. So this is really the most important thing that you can do when you're putting your home on the market. The other thing I want you to think about is the product is your responsibility. The product is being your home. The marketing of the house is going to be your agent's responsibility. So if your product is looking dated, or it's looking old, or it's looking cluttered, that's really on you as the seller. So now's the time I'm going to ask you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment for me. I want to hear your feelings. I want to hear what you're thinking. I want to make sure that you're seeing all the videos that are going to help you sell your home for more money stress-free over the course of this next year. So now, the very first problem that we're seeing in all of these pictures is the staging is just not working. Problem number 2, the photos are not doing the heavy lifting. As I was saying, your first showing is online, and it's really important that your photos look great. So as I say, you always want to fake it, take it, and make it. Fake it means you're faking the way the house looks. Now, again, I'm not talking about faking things that are wrong with it. I'm talking about changing up the paint, doing the staging like I talked about in the previous point. The faking is really about making the house look good. The second thing you need to be doing is taking great pictures. Now, these pictures are not terrible, but I want to show you a few things about them. So they're square, and the square photos, I'm not real sure why they're square, but they don't always look great in the online portals like Zillow or Homes or anywhere. So when it's square, it's out of proportion. So I just don't love that. I also don't love the pictures when they are vertical. When they're vertical, it's the same thing. It just shows up kind of funny on people's phones. So I prefer the horizontal pictures. That's the first start. Now, the second thing, you always have to remember, you only have one time to make that first impression. And when you look at the first picture, you want to make sure that it looks fantastic. And what I'm seeing from this picture is that that roof probably needs to be replaced. Now, That's very hard to hide if your roof really does need to be replaced. But this picture could be so much better by doing some seal coating or by creating this photo and making it a little bit more sunset-like, just making it look a little bit better. Now, that's what I'm saying by fake it. You're not making any substantial changes, and then you're taking it. You're taking great pictures. So your photos, after you've done all that work in staging, you want to make sure that the photos look great. Now, one thing about these photos and this land is that this house is on almost 4 acres of land, and it is beautiful. This land is gorgeous, but I'm not seeing any overhead photos. I'm not seeing any drone pictures. I'm not seeing the highlights of what is the best thing in this house. Yes, you have this great picture, which is kind of pulled back a little bit, but you don't have an overhead. You're not showing what's so unique and different about this house than the other houses that are on the market. So for example, this house has a pool, and it's the very last picture that you see in the whole bunch. So somebody has to be completely committed to your home to even recognize that this has a pool. When you're putting your pictures together, you want to make sure that they work, where your best things are up front. You only have a very, very quick time to get them into the home. And honestly, that pool picture should be up front along with the land and highlighting what is so significant and so important about this home. Now, the other thing I want to show you is that this picture here is out of proportion. So this picture was uploaded at a different resolution or a different size as the other ones. And so it just does not look as good, and it does not look as crisp. So this room really looks like a fantastic room. This room probably should be highlighted even more than it is right here. It's one small, tiny picture. So as you can see, this picture is looking much better. It can be much more highlighted. So the pictures and the order and the way that they work is really, really significant. The other thing I want to show you is that I don't think all pictures should be used, and I specifically don't like pictures that are just documenting photos. This picture is what I would consider to be a documenting photo. And I'm not real sure what this is actually. It looks like it's a door maybe to the garage. It's not doing anything for me. It's not getting me into the home. So you have to keep in mind that any photos that are documenting your home, I don't love, because you're wasting valuable time with a buyer when they're scrolling through all the pictures. So a picture like this is fine to take, but it's a documenting of the home. It is not a reason for somebody to come in. So I prefer fewer photos that are great and awesome, that want to get people to come in, than more photos that just document the way the house looks. So problem number 3 as to why this home is not selling. The buyer pool for this type of home is less. Now, when I'm talking about that, I want you to think about your house. I want you to think about who it's going to appeal to, how many buyers are going to come and look at it, what age they are, do they have children, are they older, are they empty nesters? I want you to think about that for a second. Now, this home has a lot of land, and so you need to be thinking about that. Who loves a home with a lot of land? Not everybody. Not everybody is going to want to take care of this much land. So your buyer pool actually shrinks. And just because these buyers who bought this house love this land does not mean everybody loves it. So I want you to take a step back, and I want you to really look at your house, and I want you to really think about it. What buyer is going to love your house? What pool are you attracting? Who is your target market? Because once you start kind of narrowing that down and it's not open to everybody, you are going to be limiting your pool. And in this specific instance, there just are not as many people who are looking for a home with a lot of land than people who maybe don't want to take care of something that much. So more land does not necessarily mean more buyers. It means different buyers. You need to keep that in mind as you're looking at your own home. Problem number 4 on why this home is not selling, and this is something I talked about in my last video. I want to make sure you watch that video to understand how to price your home, but this is huge right now. And the reality is that the new construction homes are stealing the attention of the resale homes. So when I first found this home, I really thought, wow, this really is a gem. This is a diamond in the rough. I really do like this home. Even for the staging and the photos, I think there's a lot to it. So I thought, well, gosh, it's got to be the price, or something's going on with this home. And then what I did is I did a look, and right around the corner, there are new construction homes. So when I dug into it and I just did kind of a preliminary search for homes that have sold and are active, I found this home that is active right around the corner. And as you can see, it is new construction. Now look at this price. This price is lower than the home that I'm showing you. It's $486,800. Now you can see it's not as much square footage, and it definitely is not in the same big lot as this other one, but it's brand new. Now, the other thing I want you to look at is that the builders, and this is happening all across the country. So if you're in an area with new construction, the builders are providing an immense amount of incentives. So you can see they are offering cash back. They're offering design upgrades. They're offering rate buy downs. So people can get a lower mortgage if they're going directly to these builders. The incentives with the builders are overwhelming. And so when you have a house that is sitting competing with new construction, I mean, everything has to be perfect. Your price has to be right. You have to figure out how you're going to compete with new construction, which means you've got to stage it right. You've got to take great pictures. It's got to show correctly. It's got to be priced right. And so all of these things kind of come into play when you're dealing with new construction right around the corner. Because when I first looked at this house, I thought, gosh, you know what? That seems $500,000, that kind of seems in line. And they had just done a huge price cut as well. So if you have new construction in your area, I cannot overstate the importance of making sure you understand your market. Like, no joke, you have got to understand your market inside and out before you go on the market. You have to understand what you're competing with. You have to understand what the new construction is going for. You have to understand what is somebody going to pay for your house, and then you have to have great photos. You have to have great staging. I mean, all of this kind of comes into play. And I hate to get you nervous and worked up and scared about it, but selling a home can be really, really traumatic. And these people who have had their home on the market for literally a year and a half, you can't tell me that they're not stressed. You can't tell me that they are not really concerned about getting their home sold. So now that is having showings, having people in your house, having the house ready to go. I mean, and just having it out there. It's very, very stressful. So I want to make sure that the way you figure this out is you can watch a bunch of my videos. I have people who have watched all of my videos. They tell me you can join my Facebook group where you can jump in. You can ask us specific questions. Put your pictures in there. Ask me the questions. You can download my seller's playbook, which has a ton of information in it. You can also ask me to help you find an agent in your area who is going to give you the exact price for your house that you need to know. You need to understand this. I've referred over 2,000 sellers across the country, and I can definitely find somebody in your neighborhood who can tell you exactly what your home is worth. These are truth certified agents. These agents are going to come out. They have the experience, they have the knowledge, they have the listing pictures, and we have found them and vetted them for you. So you do not have to worry that you have an experienced agent. So if you are worried about that, if you're not sure where to start, you can start right here. You can go to katispaniak.com, use the QR code, or go into the link in the description below, and you can ask to find an agent. And I promise that agent will come in and tell you what's going on in the market. And I know you're thinking, agents come in, they just try to sell me, they're going to tell me what they want. Not experienced agents, not agents who have done so many transactions that they will not take an overpriced listing, not the agents who don't need the money. That's the key thing. You need an agent who wants the money but doesn't need the money. And I'm going to find you those agents. So I'm here, I'm your partner through the whole sale of your home. So number 4, as I said, if you have new construction in your area, you've got to dig in on that research. You just have to. And the number 5 reason that this home is not selling is that the price is based on the 2020 reality rather than the 2026 reality. Now, I always talk about pricing, and for those of you who've known me for a long time, I always resort back to the price is too high. If your home isn't selling, the price is too high. But I want to dig in a little bit further because that's sometimes just a cop-out. I want to give you the real reason why this home may be priced too high. So the sellers bought this home in 2021 for about $84 a square foot. As you can see, they have not put a lot of money into updating it, okay? The kitchen is the same as they bought it. The bathroom is the same as they bought it. I'm going to guess this probably looks pretty similar to when they bought it 5 years ago. Now, they know the market in their area is going up. So the price per square footage in this area actually has definitely increased because now homes in their area are going for $150 to $160 a square foot. And so that puts them in line thinking, hey, we paid $84 for it. Now we're getting $150. So definitely the prices are going up. But if you're not really looking at the market, you're not really understanding, you're not recognizing that the impact of that new construction is having, and that is skewing the square footage price, your price is going to be incorrect. So yes, their market has gone up since 2021, since they bought it, but it probably has not gone up as much as they've wanted it to. So when they put the house on the market about a year and a half ago, they priced it $70,000 more. Now, I'm telling you, when you don't get showings, you don't get offers, your price is too high. Here's my rule of thumb. You guys know it. If you know it, put it in the comments, is that if you have 2 weeks and with almost no showings and maybe 1 or 2, your price is too high. If you've had 15 showings and no offers, your price is too high. So probably within the first month, they should have known that that price is too high. Once your price is too high, you need to start moving with the market. You need to get under the market. You need to be feeling it because the market may be shifting underneath you, especially this year. We're not quite sure exactly what's going to be happening this year with prices, but you've got to be feeling it, especially if you have that new construction area. So they've reduced it slowly over the past year and a half, but they haven't gotten under the market. Now, a $500,000 price point is a solid price because you're looking up to 500 and 500 and up. But the reality is that if the home is not getting offers, if it's not sold, the price is too high. So I'm going to guess this price needs to come down to 450. And if you're in this situation, I want you to be asking your agent, what is the price to sell now? Like, what if I don't do a single thing and all we do is put a new price on it? What is that price? What is the home going to sell for right now? Now, many agents don't even know what that question really means. But if you're an agent watching, I want you to always know when you're going into a home, I want you to think about what is that price to sell now? And sellers, I want you to understand what is the price that the home is going to sell at that moment? Meaning you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a lot of work. You just got to put great pictures. Of course, it's always great pictures, but you got to put great pictures up online and you have to have it staged well. Like what is that price? That price is a wake-up call. It doesn't mean that you list it there, but it means it's a wake-up call. And maybe you're thinking, holy cow, we are way, way off balance. So what I always want you to know is what is your price to sell now? And that just gives you kind of a reality check. I'm going to guess that right now this price needs to come down at least $50,000. It needs to get under the market because it's been on for so long. I'd also recommend staging, painting, probably some new pictures. But this is a great house right now. I mean, this is a fantastic home. The pictures actually are okay. They're not terrible either. Like it just needs to compete with that new construction, which makes it so, so difficult. So all these things kind of go into why this home hasn't sold. And it's not just one thing, it's all these different things. And as my Facebook group knows, that over 5,000 people, homeowners who are thinking about selling, who are asking their questions, those who are educated will sell for more money and they will sell for less stress. I have people in my group who are there thinking they're selling in 3 years, 5 years, but they want to be prepared because they do not want that overwhelmingly amount of stress. In addition, they want to know what should they be updating? Should they be updating a kitchen or a bathroom? And so that's why I've built this community. I've also built a truth in real estate community. And this is where you can go to find out the answers that you need, that you're looking for from somebody who really is going to tell you the truth. I'm giving you the insight. I'm giving you the tips, the tricks of the trade. I'm telling you exactly what you need to know to become an educated homeowner, to become an educated seller, to make sure that you are selling your home for more money, stress-free. So like, subscribe, comment here, join my Facebook group, be a part of my community, download my seller's playbook, ask me for an agent, make sure you're getting yourself educated. I want to make sure that I am here for you because I am telling you the truth. I am telling you the way it is. I'm giving you the tips. I'm giving you the inside information that many agents are not going to tell you. I'm here for you because I want to help you sell for more money, but especially stress-free. I'm Kati Spaniak with Truth in Real Estate.